In this video, I'm jumping into the top 5 reasons why my wife and I, along with so many other families, have made the move to San Antonio without looking back, and why you should seriously think about doing the same. And we're getting into it right now. What's going on, family? This is Greg Foster with Market Boss at eXp Realty right here in San Antonio, Texas. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, eating, chilling, and playing in San Antonio, Texas, then click the subscribe button and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And my team and I, we're getting calls every day from folks looking into the Alamo City. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas. We're in talks with so many people right now about moving their families to San Antonio, and when we ask them about what's really drawing them to the area, just about everyone has the exact 5 answers that I'm going to give you right now. Number 1 is great schools. Now, I put this one right at the top of the list because I think most people realize that if you can get the school district right, then just about everything else falls in place right behind that. I mean, even our clients without kids, they usually want to be in a really good school district because they know that long term, it's one of the main drivers for what makes one community more desirable over another. And it's one of the main reasons why we're seeing so many families move to the outskirts and the suburbs of San Antonio. The majority of the people reaching out to our team tell us that they want to be in a home that's maybe 10 to 15 years old at the most. And since much of the growth and the expansion in San Antonio has happened outside Loop 1604 in the last decade, it's these suburban areas that give you the best of both worlds, where you have some of the newest homes with the latest amenities situated in some of the very best school districts with the highest ratings that you're going to find anywhere in the city. And I'm not just talking about high test scores either. The North Side, Bernie, Northeast Side, and Comal independent school districts have some of the most engaged and involved teachers, administrators, and staff that you're going to find anywhere in the state of Texas. I can't tell you how many times we've dropped off our kids at elementary school in the mornings, and you've got teachers and PE coaches blasting turn-up music and dancing in the pickup line. You got them giving kids high fives and just getting them hyped up to get into the building and to learn something that day. I can still remember the first time I pulled up to a party in the drop-off line on a Tuesday like... I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. The kids really dig it though. And then of course you got all the handwritten notes in the emails from teachers just sending us messages about how they appreciate having our kids in their classroom. I mean, who takes the time to even do stuff like that? Teachers in San Antonio, that's who. And you know I can't forget all the specialty programs that we have as well. We've got some amazing fine arts programs with music, dance, theater, and art, and just about every kind of sport you can imagine out there with baseball and softball, basketball, tennis season, lacrosse season, swim season, and badminton. Okay, so I wasn't really serious about that whole badminton thing, but you get what I'm saying. But we do have some really amazing Spanish immersion programs where kids go to school completely in Spanish from kindergarten all the way through high school. And we've also got one of the top agricultural science programs that you'll find anywhere in the nation if you're into that kind of thing. The entire San Antonio school system is really actively involved and engaged in the community here. And students come out of here really prepared for the colleges and the universities that they go into. And as a parent with kids going to the school systems here, I gotta tell you, my wife and I, we're really happy about the decision that we made to move our family here. Number 2 is safety. Now, I guess this one could just as easily be tied for the number 1 spot because we get calls from people all across the country, and everybody, I mean everybody, whether they have kids or not, everybody wants to live in a safe neighborhood. In fact, we get so many questions about where the safest neighborhoods are here in San Antonio that I actually did this video right here to explain some of the crime stats that a lot of y'all are probably looking at out there. Suffice it to say that when my wife and I moved here in the summer of 2014 with our 6-year-old and 9-year-old daughters, we really wanted a safe neighborhood for them to play in also. Call me crazy, but I just really wanted the same kind of childhood for my kids that I had when I was coming up. I mean, I used to play outside all day, every day, and I really only had 2 rules that I had to follow. My mama would be like, boy, don't be running in and out of my house wasting my air conditioning. That, and boy, you better not be out there letting daylight hit China. Basically, as long as I made it back home before the street lights came on, everything was cool. Now, the way a lot of these neighborhoods are set up, you've actually got schools that are located right in the middle of the neighborhood. So kids that share classes together actually usually live right around the corner from each other too. And if you drive through any of these suburban communities built in the last 10 or 20 years, on most evenings and weekends, you'll see families out jogging, families walking with strollers, and you've even got kids riding up and down down the street on bikes and hoverboards. We've even had our girls meet up with friends at the neighborhood park to work on school projects outside, or link up at the community pool, maybe order a pizza, and just make a whole day out of just hanging out down there. And if I'm just keeping it real, we really like living here. And if you talk to the folks living in San Antonio, I think most everybody would tell you that this is the biggest small town that you're ever going to find. And somehow, even as a top 10 US city with millions of people living here, San Antonio still manages to have this slower paced, small town vibe that a lot of people are really looking for. It's still a place where you can have a sense of community and safety and belonging from the very first time that you visit here. It's still a type of place where you can get to know your neighbors and people still look out for each other. And it's why our family, along with so many others, have made the decision to call San Antonio home. Number 3 is lots of jobs. Our economy is absolutely on fire down here in San Antonio. There is so much opportunity for somebody who wants to come here and either start their career, maybe you're looking at moving up in what you're already doing, or maybe you just want a complete start over altogether. I'm shooting this video in January of 2021, right at the beginning of the year, and while so much of the rest of the country has been dealing with massive lockdowns and all these crazy restrictions, San Antonio, for the most part, has remained wide open for business. We've actually been getting so many people reaching out to us about the job scene down here in San Antonio that I actually did this video right here that talks about the highest paying jobs in the area and the employers that most folks are relocating here for. Chances are, if you're looking for a job in San Antonio, you're probably going to find one. And there's a lot of drivers in that. We have 4 military bases right here in the city, and that just brings a lot of stability and security to the job scene here in the area. You'll find a lot of government jobs with contract work in IT and cybersecurity. And then we have a number of large area hospitals here in the area, including the Texas Medical Center, which serves as the hub for medical innovation for all of the South Texas region. Really, the biggest challenge that we see for our clients in the medical field is that they just can't get here fast enough. When they get job offers, it's like these hospitals want them to be here yesterday. And then it's no secret that Texas is one of the largest energy producers in the nation, and the job market here in San Antonio, it sees a lot of benefit from that. We've got the corporate headquarters for some of the largest gas, oil, and utility companies in the nation. If you're working in financial services, San Antonio has some of the highest paying, most significant jobs in the city at the corporate campus for USAA and for the main operations building for companies like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Chase, Frost Bank, and Nationwide. And then of course we've also been seeing a lot of growth in the manufacturing sector with the expansion at the Toyota plant and all the new government contracts that's been recently awarded to Boeing here in the city too. So if you're looking for the right opportunity to either start or grow or further your career, then you definitely have to give San Antonio a serious look. Number 4 is that there is just so much to do here. And I'm not just talking about the touristy stuff either. Now, if you're coming to visit or if you just recently moved here, then sure, you got to check that stuff out. You have to get to downtown San Antonio and spend some time at the shops and the restaurants down there on the Riverwalk because it is absolutely gorgeous down there. And then, of course, there's the ongoing debate about which of our 2 theme parks is the best. And even though Six Flags is cool and all, I'm definitely more of a SeaWorld type of guy myself. But once you actually move here and have a chance to settle in a bit, you'll come to realize that San Antonio is about so much more than that. And that no matter what you're into, you can find a place to do it right here in the Alamo City. People absolutely love being outside here, and many of the neighborhoods here have large green spaces for dog parks, walking trails, hiking trails. You got a number of larger parks and nature preserves throughout the city with wide open spaces and trails for biking and walking. And if you're into spending time on the water, we've got 2 really nice lakes to choose from with Canyon Lake up north and Medina Lake out in the far west side. You'll find golf courses all over the place in several parts of the city with year-round access and some really amazing views. And rather than having to leave the area for vacation, San Antonio has so many beautiful hotels and luxury resorts where you can pull away from the day-to-day and staycation close to home, giving you time to unwind and really enjoy the city that you live in. And that's just if you want to jump in the car and go somewhere. Many of these newer suburban communities come with some super nice amenities that you can actually walk to right there in the middle of the neighborhood. There's kiddie pools with splash pads and lazy rivers, large Olympic-sized pools with water slides, sport courts for playing basketball and tennis. And because of the warmer weather down here, our youth sports leagues are year-round down here in San Antonio. We've had our girls involved in select baseball, select softball, select basketball, basketball, select tennis, select volleyball. We even had our youngest in competitive swimming for a little while before she ultimately decided that maybe gymnastics and ballet were a better fit, and that's what she really wanted to focus on. All that's just to say that no matter what you want to involve your kids in, there's going to be lots of opportunities for them to get into some really good activities here in the area. And really, when it comes to fun stuff to do in the evenings and on the weekends, there's just no way that you can do it all. I mean, my family and I, we've been here for 6 years now, and we're still exploring the city and finding new ways to hang out and spend time together. And that's really one of the best things that we like about living here in San Antonio. Number 5 is affordability. So apparently the secret's gotten out to the rest of the country that things are pretty good down here in Texas when it comes to affordability. And San Antonio is a really good representation of that when you compare it to a lot of the other larger cities out there. We're sitting at about 90% of the national average, and that just translates into a ton of savings for everybody. People moving here realize that their money goes a lot farther in San Antonio, and you can really afford to live a really nice lifestyle down here. Now, if you're wanting a super deep explanation of what it costs to live out here, then this video I did right here breaks down the cost of living in the area. And this entire playlist right here is full of videos about where to live in the city and what the home prices are there. Really, a lot of the people reaching out to us just can't believe how affordable it is to own a home in San Antonio. And that goes for both existing homes as well as new construction. You've got everything from entry-level, first-time buyer type homes under $200,000 to mid-range homes for move-ups and even high-end homes that are twice the median sale price for the city. And when it comes to affordability in our more established communities, our suburbs in the far west, the northwest, the far north, and the northeast are some of the most desired locations that you'll find anywhere in San Antonio. And it's where a lot of our clients tend to focus their search when they're looking for a more laid-back suburban type of lifestyle. Whether you're just starting out and you're looking for that very first home that you can own and be comfortable in, or you're in a hunt for a larger home for that growing family with a big yard in the cul-de-sac where your kids can safely ride their bikes out in the street, you'll find all of that here in the Alamo City. San Antonio has something for everyone, and it's an amazing place to call home. Now, if you want any more information about what it's like to live here in the San Antonio area, our team has folks reaching out to us every single day, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating anywhere in the San Antonio area, then give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas.